Parents out there, college tuition is due soon, but what should you do if you can't write that big check right now? Our money and business expert, Derek Kinney, is here with 4 tips to help out. Now, Derek, let's start with number 1. If you don't have the money to pay right now, you say the first tip is to appeal for more financial aid. I've never even heard of that. How do you do it?
Yeah, Dia, the key here is not to think that if you got financial aid that that's it, or you were denied financial aid that that's the end of the road. One thing we've seen is the FAFSA form, which a lot of people figure out to see how much aid they can get, was late this year, so it's really put a lot of colleges in a bind. So keep in mind, if you can't make the payment, if you've got a big tuition bill coming up, go back to the school and say, look, we want to go here, we love the school, but we need more aid options. The worst thing they can say is no, but most of the time they find a way to give you more aid to keep you going to that school.
Next, you say, Derek, consider asking about a payment plan. How does that piece work?
Yeah, so most colleges do this by semester. You typically pay for the spring semester, then the fall semester. If you're going to take summer courses, you pay that separately. But oftentimes underneath the curtain is a monthly payment plan. Now you might pay a tad more in terms of fees for the convenience, but it can break down that huge bill that's due each semester into more bite-sized monthly pieces. So talk to the school and say, look, again, we want to pay, we want our son or daughter to go here, but work with us, and if you do that, you're going to have a great student and eventually a great graduate of this fine school.
That's good there. The third tip you have is to try to piece the money together. Wait, what do you mean by piece the money together, and what's the best way to do that?
Yeah, now you might maybe have a glass of wine, your favorite cup of coffee. The goal here is to think outside the box, Dia. So the goal is, listen, maybe you've got an insurance policy with a cash value to it, or possibly you could borrow on the 401k, or you might have a 529 plan earmarked just for college. It's a way to piece together how can we get the first month and the next month. That's the goal. Even sometimes asking family members. One thing they did recently is they waived gifts. If a parent or grandparent or relative gives a gift to your son or daughter, it doesn't count against them for financial aid. So piecing it together can be one way, again, to get on track and get that bill paid.
Now, your last tip, though, is maybe the most important. Borrow wisely. How do you do that without hurting yourself financially?
You know, one of the biggest knocks about college right now is how much it costs and how much the loans are when people come out. For example, if you're going to be a teacher and you come out with $100,000 of debt, you're probably never going to pay that back. And that's a sad, sad reality. We want to keep people from doing that. The key is to think about what types of loans are the best. There's what are called subsidized loans, unsubsidized loans, what's called private loans. All of those have different levels of fine print. And we know oftentimes the big print giveth and the fine print taketh away. So the goal is know what you're signing before you do it. But keep in mind, if you can't afford it, that might be sort of life's way of telling you maybe you could do the junior college, go to a more affordable college, because whatever you sign up for, you're going to have to pay that back. And it could be too much for many people.
Ooh, and this is right on time. Derek Kinney, our money expert, always with some great tips. Thank you for that.
Thank you, Dia.